All right, I got my little project done and just going to wrap up the second half of our Alabama-New Mexico test game real quick. So heading into the third quarter, Bama with a 21-0 halftime lead. And first half stats, Alabama ran 42 plays for 283 yards. New Mexico ran 23 plays for 95 yards. So decisively Alabama in all fronts. New Mexico will get the second half kickoff. And we'll get going right away. So Bama, kickoff of D, New Mexico kickoff return of C, and that's going to be a touchback. So New Mexico will start the second half, and both teams will have 6 drives in the second half. New Mexico on their 25. So their first drive of the second half, 16, and that is going to be a punt. They'll have a 11-yard, 4-play drive to punt it away, meaning they will kick from their own 36. So second half started poorly for New Mexico as once again they struggle to move the ball. And punting, they are a C, and of course Bama an A. On punt returns, 6, that's going to be a 41-yard punt. So that's going to land on the Alabama 23-yard line where it will be returned, and 4 on the return on A, and that's going to be a fair catch. All right, so Bama from their own 23, their first drive of the second half. Here we go, and 37 is going to be a potential scoring drive as Bama. 13 on the drive chart, that's going to be 3 plays for 25 yards. So they'll have the ball on their own 48, and the situation 8 against a 3 defense is going to be second down and 4 from their own 48, Bama. All right, Mac Jones brings the team up, and he's going to start it out with a short pass. Talent factor is going to kick in, so it will be +3 result on the short pass. And 2, that's going to be a 17-yard gain and a potential fumble, and the recipient of that catch is going to be Najee Harris. And fumble rating, Bama is a 1 to 10, and New Mexico on their fumble adjustment is a -1, so it'll take a 1 to 9 on a fumble, so Bama will maintain possession. And 17-yard gain. I'll take it to midfield, and then 15 from there down to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tide. And it's going to be a run play to Najee Harris. And once again, talent factor comes into play. So this will be a 6 on the +3 chart. And that is the one bad result there. Najee Harris. Harris has had a rough sledding in this game. He's got a 3-yard gain, and that is only 18 yards for him, at least in play-by-play. We haven't divvied up the drive stats yet, which will increase that. But in play-by-play mode, Harris having a rough time getting going against this New Mexico defense, looking like they're stacked to stop him. Going to be another run play on 2nd down and 7. And for Bama, 3 is going to be 2 stars on the run. New Mexico's defense is going to be a 0, so a +2 roll of 6. And that's going to be 6 yards. And Najee Harris, again, on the carry there. So that's going to bring it up to a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 from the New Mexico 26. And 3rd and 1 on a balanced attack. And that's actually going to be a short pass play. So looking to throw the ball, play action. And result there is going to be a +3 result, 0 on the +3 short pass. And that's going to be a 9-yard gain. And that ball goes to Najee Harris out of the backfield, his second catch on this drive. So that's going to take the ball down to the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tide as they look to get their 4th touchdown of the game. And going to be another short pass result for the Tide. And it's going to be a +3 result, +3 result on the short pass, a roll of 5, and that's going to be a 7-yard strike. And that goes to Devontae Smith. His 4th catch in play-by-play. And that gets it down to the 10-yard line, 2nd down and 3 from there. And this will be a run play, and it's going to be 1 star for Bama, and on the defense for New Mexico, also 1 star, so an even result, and 20. Ball carrier is going to be Williams, and he has an individual runner adjustment on the 0 roll of -2. So that's where his result will come off of, and that's going to be a 2-yard gain, so that's going to make it a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 from the 8. And that gives you a good look at the individual running back factor. And Matt has joined us again at the stadium as we conclude this test game, New Mexico, Bama. 3rd and 1 from the 8. And teams come up. It's going to be a 0 result. Najee Harris is going to be the ball carrier. Najee Harris has the +1 running back adjustment. So it's going to be a number 1 on the 1 column, which is a 6-yard gain. And Harris rumbles down to the yard line where it's going to be 1st and goal. Okay, just making sure my stats are good. 1st and goal from the 2. Here we go. And it's going to be a play action fake. I like taking candy from a baby there. And that'll be a +2 on the 0 short pass. And that's going to be a touchdown strike. And that ball goes to Bolden. So his 1st catch in play-by-play mode at least. And that's going to be Mac Jones' 3rd touchdown pass of the day. And, of course, they are 0 to 99 on extra points, so extra point is good. And that makes our score 28-0 as we line up for the kickoff now. Closing in on the midway point of the 3rd quarter, Bama lines up to kick it off, and a 1 on a D. That's going to be a touchback. So New Mexico starts off from their own 25, their 2nd possession of the 2nd half. And 74, New Mexico actually is going to have a potential scoring drive here, believe it or not. They're going to be in a bad down and distance situation, though. So 13, that's going to be 3 plays for 25 yards. So they're going to be at midfield and then a 12 on the down and distance situation against a 10 defense. It's going to be 4th down and 2 from midfield. So New Mexico has a decision to make here, and they are going to go for it. 4th and 2 from midfield. We'll see if this pays off for them. And it's going to be a run play, and Bama, of course, is zoned in on the run, so that'll be a +1. 4 result here, and that's going to be 1 star for New Mexico, and on defense, 1 star, so it'll be a -2 with the adjustment. -2 for New Mexico, and they should still be able to possibly pull this off. Roll of 8 and 2 yards exactly. The ball carrier on that is Jones, so Jones forges ahead for 2 yards, picks up a huge 1st down, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Bama 48. 4th down conversion. And New Mexico fans, this is their most successful drive of the day, and we are going to have a penalty, and it's going to be on New Mexico. So offensive penalty, a 6, and that's going to be a false start. Going to be a 1st down and 15. And 1st down and 15 back to the their own 47. All right, New Mexico going to try and run it again, and this is going to be a talent factor result, so it's going to come off the -3 column due to Bama's talent factor advantage, and 0 is going to be a stuff play, and they're just going backwards. So stuff result, the ball carrier, first of all, is going to be Hall, the quarterback, and a stuff result roll of 3. And that's going to be -1. So Harris or Hall, I'm sorry, the ball carrier on that, -1. It's going to be a 2nd down and 16 now. Obvious passing situation, and New Mexico is looking to go deep, and it's going to be no stars on the pass attempt against a 2 for Bama. So 3-star pass defense, -3 on the deep ball, roll of 8. That's going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 16 now for the Lobos. 3rd and 16, and again, a lean run team, and 3rd down and 16, and this is going to be a short pass and a possible penalty. Again, New Mexico's penalty rating is a 7. It will indeed be another penalty. We'll get the result first to see if Bama wants to accept or decline. So Lobos, it's going to be 0 stars for them on the offensive result, a -2 result for Bama on their defensive adjustment, and a roll of 9 on -2 is going to be incomplete. So Bama is going to decline that penalty. New Mexico will have to punt. So punting from their own 46. And New Mexico, a C. Roll of 1 from their own 46, and that is a 38-yard punt. So that's going to come down to the 16-yard line where it will be returned by Bama, and a roll of 0 means it's going to go to the big play or team big play chart on punt return. So we'll see if Devontae Smith can break loose here. From the 16 on the big play punt return result, and that's going to be a 12-yard return, so it'll come out to the 28-yard line for the Crimson Tide. And they will start their simulated portion of the drive from there. All right, 28 and 34, that's going to be another potential scoring drive for the Tide. And this one, a 7-play, 55-yard drive. 83. It's going to go all the way down to the New Mexico 17-yard line where we'll jump into play-by-play mode. And a roll of 6 against a 3 defense is going to be 2nd down and 4 from the 17. And that's where we join the drive in play-by-play mode. Arnold Hunter has joined us. Thank you very much, Arnold. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing. We've got testing going on now. So, again, this will release after the 2021 football season. And so far, pretty happy. I mean, obviously stuff to tweak, but so far pretty happy with the results. All right, so Alabama, it's going to be a short pass call from the 17. And Bama on the pass play has a 2-star result. New Mexico on defense, a 1-star, so a +1. +1 short pass roll of 5, and that's going to be an 11-yard gain, and 11-yard gain to Devontae Smith. Smith hasn't really broken loose yet, but he's been consistent, and Mac Jones is absolutely shredding the Lobos. So 1st down and goal from the 6-yard line. Tide comes up, already up 28-0 here past the midway point in the 3rd quarter. And we're going to have a balanced run play called here, and 4 for the Tide is going to be a 1-star New Mexico. 1-star on the run defense, so it'll be an even result to Najee Harris. And again, Najee Harris with the running back adjustment of +1. So 4 and a 1 is going to be a 5-yard gain for Harris. And that puts the ball at the 1-yard line, a 2nd and goal from there. As the Tide will look to punch it in, and once again, it'll be a run play. Talent factor comes into play, a +3, and that's going to be easily a walk-in touchdown for Najee Harris. And the Tide have scored yet again. And again, they have the automatic extra points, so they go up 35-0. And this will be New Mexico's final possession of the 3rd quarter. So Bama making short work of the Lobos here in the second half. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and our kickoff result is going to go down to the 5-yard line, and New Mexico on the return. Roll of 4, and they are a C. That's going to be a 15-yard return, so that'll come out to the 20, where New Mexico starts their final drive of the third quarter. See if they can generate some offense. And Robert is back again. Welcome, my friend. We're finishing our final game here of the day, our test game. So 94 on the drive result for the Tide at a +5. And that's going to be a potential interception. 14, however, will be well out of Mac Jones' range. Bama, they only throw interceptions on a roll of 1 to 4. New Mexico has a +1 adjustment, not going to come into play at all. So on the potential turnover roll, 14, and that's going to be a 4-play, a 32-yard drive. I'm sorry, New Mexico has the ball. Hold on, not so fast. Alabama has an interception rate or an interception adjustment rate of +1. New Mexico is 1 to 13, so they barely escaped the interception there. And again, the drive result will be the same. So 14, 4 plays, 32 yards, and that will put the Lobos with a chance to finally get on the scoreboard. The Alabama 48, it's not going to be a favorable situation down and distance-wise, though, as it will be actually not too bad. It'll be a 3rd and 3. So 3rd and 3 from the Alabama 48 for the Lobos as they look to get off the schneid here. And unfortunately, talent factor kicks in with a roll of 3 on the 1d6. And it's going to be a run play coming off the -3 column. Roll of 8 is going to be no gain. Ball carrier on that is Cole. So New Mexico is stuffed. It is 4th down, and they are going to have to punt from the 48. They went for it on 4th last time. All right, here goes the punt play, and New Mexico C, roll of 5, and that's going to be a 42-yard punt. So 42-yard punt goes down to the 10, and the punt return on that, an A, roll of 5, no return. So ball rolls out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So at least New Mexico making Alabama work for this drive. See what they get on the drive result. And this is Bama's final drive of the third quarter as well. And 98, and Alabama, they are now going to have their own interception chance, and 19 is well out of range there. So we'll go to the drive chart. And it's going to be a 2-play, a 31-yard drive. So Bama going to have it 1st and 10 on their own 41. And once again, they will try and score here, and it's going to be a short pass play. Bama's going to have an advantage of +3 in the star column. So 7 on a short pass +3 is going to be 8-yard gain, but it's a possible sack. And New Mexico, their sack adjustment is a -3. Bama's sack rating is a 1 to 6, so 1 to 3, and it is going to be a sack. So they get to Mac Jones, and that's going to be a 9-yard loss. So the Lobos, 2nd down and 19, and that takes it all the way back to the from the 41 to the 32. So 2nd long for the Tide, and New Mexico has them backed up a little bit now. Let's see if they can extricate themselves from this situation. And 2nd and 7+, that is going to be a pass play, short pass play. And Bama on their offensive roll has a 2-star result. New Mexico, 2-star result, so it'll be even Steven. And on the short pass play of 1, that's going to be an incomplete. So New Mexico, playing a little bit of defense here, going to be 3rd down and 19. 3rd and 19 for the Tide. Here we go, 8, and that is going to be a long pass. Long pass, and the star results for the Tide are going to be 2 stars to 0 for New Mexico on the defensive check. So long pass, Long pass +2 and a roll of 9. And that is going to be a big play result. And the big play is going to come to none other than Devontae Smith. So let's roll on the big play result there. And New Mexico a chance to extricate themselves from this. Not going to be able to do it. So big play on the pass 1 chart, 6. It's going to be 28 yards, but a possible fumble. My goodness. So the fumble result, Bama again it's going to be 1-9. They lose the ball 4, and the ball is stripped. Devontae Smith, a 28-yard gain, and that's the second Bama turnover of the game, second fumble, which will definitely not make Saban happy. So from their own 32, hold on, 32 plus 28 is 60. All right, so we get down to the New Mexico 40, and they will take over there, 1st and 10. All right, so that's the end of the third quarter. So Bama puts up 2 more as we head into the final quarter. 3 drives left each, and it's going to be a 35-0 Crimson Tide advantage. But New Mexico trying to get a good field position here, their own 40-yard line. See if they can put together any type of drive, see if Alabama is putting in any subs yet. 47, unfortunately, that's going to be another punt for New Mexico. And they're going to get 2 plays, actually a kick chance, I should say. So from the 40, 2 plays, 26 yards. That's going to go down to the Bama 34. And 17 yards onto that, that would be a 51-yard field goal. So that's out of their range. They're not going to be able to kick a field goal. This is kind of go for the situation here. Situation as they try to go for it is going to be 4th and 12 from the 34. So they can't kick a 51-yard field goal. Their max is 49. All right, I'm going to do a little house rule on that. We'll do this is going to be an optional rule anyway. So for everything above their max range, it is a -10. So it's going to be a 0 to 36 for this 51-yard field goal. So 0 to 36, New Mexico on their first drive of the fourth quarter. And just short on that. So a missed field goal. And Bama is going to take over on their own 34, their first drive of the final quarter. All right, here we go. 11 and 11. And actually, +7, 11 is actually going to be a punt or a kicking situation, I should say, for Bama as well. So 14 there, that's going to be 5 plays, 15 yards. So that gets down to the New Mexico. Actually, that gets to the their own 49. So Bama's going to punt from there. So second time Bama has been stopped and forced to punt in this game, which again is a moral victory for the Lobos, I suppose. All right, so for their own 49, the punt. And again, Bama is a D punting. And it's going to be a possible block, and the Tide does not have any block chances. So that'll be a 48-yard punt, and that's going to come down at the New Mexico 2. The return on that, New Mexico on the punt return is a C, and that's going to be no return. So New Mexico pinned deep in their territory at their own 2-yard line. And let's see what they get on their drive here, see if they can get out of the shadow of their own goalpost a little bit. 36, it's going to be another punt for the Lobos, unfortunately. And 4 on the punt is going to be 5 plays, 12 yards is all they're going to get. So from their own 14, the Lobos are going to have to punt now, and we are moving along rapidly in the fourth quarter. C on the punt roll of 2, that's going to be a 37-yard punt. So that will be fielded at the New Mexico 49 and a 1 on the return. And again, Bama is a C. That's going to be a 5-yard return. So Bama's drive will start, second drive of the fourth quarter is going to start at the New Mexico 44-yard line. Let's see what they can muster on this drive. 90 on a +7, and that's going to be a possible fumble again, and this time it's not going to be a fumble with a roll of 11. So they'll get to continue the drive potentially. Actually, I'm sorry, the yardage will be 5 plays, 38 yards. So that goes down to the New Mexico 11, then we have to roll for the fumble. My bad on that. So at the New Mexico 11, and the fumble, again, 9 or less, and they lose the ball for the 3rd time. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Bama playing a little bit of slow in the second half. That's 3 fumbles lost in the game for the Tide. So New Mexico, their final drive of the game, it's going to start from their own 11-yard line. And let's see if they can get out of the shadow of their own goalpost here. Again, 41. Once again, they're going to have to punt. 14, that's going to be another 5-play, 15-yard drive for the Lobos. So punting from their own 26. And 1, that's going to be another 38-yard punt. We fielded at the Bama 36 and an 8 on the return. And that's going to be a 15-yard return. So that's going to be down to the New Mexico 49 where the drive will commence. And this will be Bama's final drive of the game. Score 35-0. And we'll see if the Tide can wrap it up. Hey, what's up, Ron? And Steve Tower, welcome, buddy. Tide is rolling, and again, this is a test play of the to-be-released Glory Days College Football coming to you this year. Well, so yeah, it's early next year after the 2021 football season. All right, so Bama on the drive, 0-2, and Bama just elects to run out the clock. They had some rough scored the first 2 times they had the ball in the second half, and then 2 fumbles and 2 punts after that, surprisingly enough. They've got backups in, though, so no big deal. And the punt yardage on that is going to be 6 plays, 20 yards. And actually, they will be in field goal range. So from the New Mexico 49 down to the 29, and it will be a 39, 46-yard field goal. So this is how the game will end. All right, Bama from 40 to 49, and it is good, and that is your ball game, folks. So New Mexico is trounced in this one. Bama could have been worse, but they had some issues holding on to the ball. So our final score here is Alabama 38 and New Mexico 0. And we did the first half yardage. New Mexico had a big advantage there. Just quickly add up. I won't do the full stats, just to add up roughly what Bama had just on drives in the second half. 60. Yeah, just on drives in the second half. Bama's going to end up breaking 500 total yards in this game. New Mexico, I can give you their exact total right now, actually. So New Mexico had 95 yards at halftime. Didn't play bad defensively in the second half. All right, so New Mexico for the entire game ended up with 217 total yards. Bama, like I said, is going to be over 5 when I add up the individual stats from the draw. And pretty much what you would expect, minus the 3 Bama turnovers, more than likely took at least 2 touchdowns off the board there. So 38-0. And the Tide rolls over New Mexico. We'll give them a stiffer challenge next. I think next time we'll have them play Northwestern. And Northwestern they're a very unusual team. They've got, despite the fact they favor the run, they are the weakest of the 6 teams in the run game I have rated thus far. So it'll be an interesting matchup. The other thing with them is they do have a talent factor of 1, so that will negate one of Alabama's talent factor points, meaning it will adjust the successful talent factor challenges by Bama there a little bit. That should be an interesting game. We'll also do Army and BYU as another test game. And hey, Steve, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Make sure you, if you have not subscribed to After Further Review, give that a sub, please. And yeah, definitely a good tune-up for Matt Jones. You guys have a great night. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we'll see you later. Thanks.